In an unexpected twist of fate, Van Brett Watkins, the hitman employed by former Carolina Panthers receiver Rae Carruth to commit a vile act, breathed his last in prison at age 63. Watkins, who had been serving an extensive sentence for the murder of Cherica Adams and the attempted murder of her unborn child, met his end not at the hands of justice, but rather the unrelenting march of time. He succumbed to natural causes while under the watchful eye of prison medical staff, a stark contrast to the violent ends he once dealt. Despite his crimes and the grim environment of his final years, Watkins found solace and perhaps a form of redemption in religion. He converted to Islam while incarcerated, a dramatic shift for a man with a history steeped in criminal activity. His criminal past was not confined to the infamous case involving Carruth and Adams. Watkins had a history riddled with unlawful acts, a legacy of violence and disregard for human life that preceded his encounter with Carruth. His troubled past, however, did not deter him from pointing the finger at Carruth, claiming that the former football player had orchestrated the entire plot. In the confines of his prison cell, Watkins also grappled with the repercussions of his actions. His life was marked by numerous infractions and periods of solitary confinement, a testament to his tumultuous journey through the penal system. Yet, it was in this environment that Watkins found his faith. He embraced Islam, a decision that may have provided him some form of solace or introspection amidst the harsh realities of his existence. Watkins, who once took lives with impunity, met his own end confined within the cold walls of a prison. A fitting end, perhaps, to a life marked by violence and transgression. The story takes us back to when Rae Carruth, a promising football player, crossed paths with Cherica Adams, a vivacious woman in the prime of her life. Rae Carruth, a name that once echoed in the corridors of the Carolina Panthers stadium, a receiver with a future as bright as the stadium lights under which he played. His life took a turn when he met Cherica Adams. Cherica, a woman full of life, a radiant personality that could light up any room she walked into. Their paths crossed in a way that neither of them could have predicted. In the beginning, their relationship seemed nothing short of ordinary. Two people caught in the whirlwind of love, sharing dreams and envisioning a future together. But as time passed, the dynamics of their relationship began to shift. The facade of a perfect relationship started to crumble, revealing a darker, more sinister reality beneath. As Carruth's career progressed, so did the complexity of his personal life. He was not just a star on the field, but also in the tabloids. His relationship with Cherica became a subject of public scrutiny. The world outside their relationship started to catch glimpses of the turbulence within. Behind the closed doors of their seemingly perfect life, a plot was brewing, a plot that would shock the world and change their lives forever. Carruth's motive behind the murder was as complex as it was chilling. A motive clouded with allegations of control, fear, and a desperate attempt to escape financial obligations. The star football player, once admired by many, was now the mastermind of a sinister plot. A plot that involved Cherica Adams, the woman he once promised to protect. The woman who was now carrying his child, a bond that should have brought them closer, but instead was the catalyst for a horrifying event. Little did Cherica know her life was on a collision course with a chilling destiny. In the sinister underbelly of society where life is traded for money, Carruth found Watkins, a man with no qualms about pulling the trigger. A chilling, clandestine pact was formed between Carruth, a former Carolina Panthers receiver, and Watkins, a hitman with a lengthy history of criminal activity. The target? Cherica Adams, Carruth's pregnant girlfriend, and their unborn child. Carruth, the alleged mastermind, orchestrated what was to be a fatal encounter. His plan was as cold and calculated as the man he hired to execute it. The stage was set for one of the most shocking crimes in recent history. One fateful night, Adams found herself in the crosshairs of Watkins' gun. The details of the act are as horrifying as they are tragic. Without delving too deeply into the grim specifics, the encounter left Adams critically wounded, fighting for her life and the life of her unborn child. Miraculously, Adams survived the initial onslaught. For 4 weeks, she battled against the odds in a hospital, clinging to life. Her unborn child, Chancellor Lee Adams, was delivered prematurely, and his fight for survival began as his mother's was ending. Born with cerebral palsy, Chancellor's life was marked by adversity from the moment he entered the world. Tragically, Adams's struggle ended 4 weeks after the attack. Her life, vibrant and full, was brutally cut short. The loss was not just hers, but also her son's, who would never know his mother's love firsthand. The aftermath of this horrific crime left a child born into a world without his mother, a world where his father was accused of conspiring to end her life, a world where the man who pulled the trigger would eventually die in prison, taking with him any remorse or guilt he may have felt. In the end, the bright life of Cherica Adams was extinguished, leaving behind a child born into a world without his mother. The wheels of justice may grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. In the aftermath of this chilling crime, those words rang truer than ever. The investigation was painstaking, the truth elusive, and the trial a spectacle that held the nation's attention. At the center of it all was the hitman, Van Brett Watkins. With a lengthy criminal history already to his name, Watkins became the linchpin in this twisted tale of conspiracy and murder. He was the one who implicated former Carolina Panthers receiver Rae Carruth as the mastermind behind the crime. According to Watkins, Carruth had hired him to kill Cherica Adams and her unborn child. His testimony was damning, and it played a significant role in the trial that followed. Carruth, once a celebrated sports figure, found himself on the defendant's stand, facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder. The evidence was overwhelming, and the jury delivered their verdict, guilty. Carruth was sentenced to serve approximately 19 years in prison. Life behind bars was far from easy for either of the men. Watkins in particular had a troubled history in prison. Infractions were numerous, and time in solitary confinement was not uncommon. But even amidst the harsh reality of prison life, Watkins found a semblance of peace. He became a practicing Muslim, seeking solace and redemption in faith. Carruth, on the other hand, remained steadfast in his denial. He claimed that Watkins had acted out of revenge, not under his orders. But the jury had made their decision, and the court of public opinion was not in his favor. The story of Watkins and Carruth is a sobering reminder of the depths to which human nature can sink. Their actions led to the loss of an innocent life and forever altered the course of another. Carruth and Watkins, once free men, found themselves caged like the beasts their actions had proven them to be. In the shadow of this heinous crime, a child afflicted by the actions of his father grows into a man. This is the story of Chancellor Lee Adams, the son of Cherica Adams and Rae Carruth. Born prematurely as a result of the violent act that took his mother's life, Chancellor's early entrance into the world wasn't without complications. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a condition that would shape his life in ways unimaginable. Despite his condition, Chancellor has shown an indomitable spirit, a testament to human resilience. Now 24 years old, he continues to live life with a strength that is truly admirable. His story is one of survival, of triumph over adversity. It's a reminder that life, even when born out of the shadow of a crime, can still bloom and thrive. In the midst of all this, we must not forget the man whose actions set these tragic events in motion. Rae Carruth, the former Carolina Panthers receiver who was convicted for conspiring to murder his pregnant girlfriend. Throughout his sentence, Carruth vehemently denied hiring Watkins to kill Cherica. He claimed that Watkins acted out of revenge, a narrative that has been challenged and questioned. The death of Van Brett Watkins, the hitman hired by Carruth, marks another chapter in this grim saga. He died in prison at the age of 63, serving a lengthy sentence for his actions. His death, however, does little to erase the pain and suffering he caused. It serves as a stark reminder of the lives he shattered and the legacy of the crime he committed. The story of Rae Carruth, Cherica Adams, and Chancellor Lee Adams is one that will forever be etched in the annals of crime history. It's a chilling reminder of the destructive power of a single decision and the ripple effects it can have on countless lives. In the wake of Watkins' death, we are reminded of the lives he shattered and the legacy of a crime that will echo through the years.